It's locked. It's locked.
Hello there.
Hi, Cyrus. And you are?
Lock key. You're a no here, aren't you?
You know anything about a woman named Azara?
Izara. Name sounds familiar, but I can't say that I do.
What do you know about the Restless League?
Nothing. Who said that I did?
And what does Stros M'kai hold for you?
I'm what everyone likes to refer to as Mr. Fix-It. I'm cursed by it, actually. Oh, and by the way, if you see a man named Triffic, tell him I'll get to his boat when I have time.
If I see the fellow, I'll tell him.
And as for what keeps me in Stros M'kai with the Empire and Rickson and all, well, I've lived here a long time, got friends and roots here. And Stros M'kai has deep roots, ancient history. And there's the real mystery.
What's wrong with Triffic's boat?
Not sure, really. I think he's had some vandals at night.
The real mystery? I've heard too many already.
The ruins! In the mountains! Dwarves, sailor, long dead. An ancient technological treasure trove. Empires searching the world for such knowledge. They may have found it here.
What does the Empire hope to find there?
Power! Before you know it, we'll have steam-driven carriages and flying machines. Whole Empire's interested in them dwarves for some reason. Sure. Prince of Tor, Arcade, bless his soul, might have said they were dangerous and we should leave dead civilizations be, but hell, man, there's progress to be made.
Flying machines, are you okay?
You just wait. Those dwarves made up for their lack of magic another way. Magic is the crutch of the world. Why build a better bridge when a mage can teleport you to the other side? Things have been the same for thousands of years and it's gonna end soon.
Steam-driven carriages, huh?
That's right. Dwarves knew how to use the steam. You may laugh, but it's a powerful force, and Rickon's got his boys looking at it right now. Empire may have what they need to conquer all of Tamriel sooner than you think.
I know you've been gambling at the smuggler's den, Lakeen, and I need to get in there.
Damn! Where'd you hear that? Look, that's not something I'm proud of, so keep your voice down. Let's move this conversation elsewhere.
Gambling away your wife's silver locket, not good. Tell me what I want to know. What do you know about Azara, the League, and that den?
Calm down, please. I know nothing. I've only been there to gamble a few times. I've heard the League goes there, but I ain't seen him or this Azara woman, I swear. And if my wife finds out about the gambling, I'll be dead.
Then just give me the password and I'll take it from there.
Sure, but you gotta help me first, Cyrus. Please! Get my silver locket back from that Rolo cheater, and I'll give you the password, I swear. Please!
Rolo?
Smelly guy, cheats at cards. He won that locket through trickery, the foul dust belly.
We'll talk later. It doesn't do... It's locked. It's locked. It's locked. Probably need to find something to use it with. It's locked. Could I have a word with you?
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
Do you know a woman named Zara?
Is Zara. Scrawny little thing, chicken legs, no hips. Yeah, I know her. Used to come by, pestering me all the time. You know how women are. Not my type, though. Rollo likes them larger.
Watch your tongue, cretin. That's my sister you're talking about.
Oh, Big Brother's a tough guy, huh? Topping it pretty high, aren't you? Coming into my house talking that way. I haven't seen her in months anyway.
What do you know of the Restless League?
Bunch of idiots, if you ask me. You can't fight the Empire. They'll learn, though.
How are things in town with the Imperials in charge?
What do I look like? The town crier? Same old as far as Rollo's concerned. Politics is for suckers. I got a sweet deal with Garrick. No need for me to worry about who's sitting in the palace.
Do you know anything about the smuggler's den under the cartographer's shop?
Maybe I've heard of it. Yeah, I've seen some guys hanging around there, supposedly in the Restless League. But it's all talk. They never do anything. You can't get in there without a password anyway, so you may as well forget about it.
I know you've been in the smuggler's den, Rollo. Tell me the password, and I'll leave you alone.
You got the wrong guy. I don't know nothing about no password. I was just telling you what I'd heard.
Whatever you say, friend. I'm looking for the Dragon Tail Inn. Do you know it?
It's right outside, you big oaf. Here are some directions maybe you can understand. Go outside, look around. If you don't see it, open your eyes and try again. Now, get lost.
What sort of deal do you have with Garrick?
You know, that fool elf that runs the trading post pays me a silver penny for each crate I bring up from the docks. No lie! And I only have to go down when the bell rings. Means the ship's arrived. Yup, Rollo knows a good thing when he sees it.
I don't suppose you've ever been in the palace.
No, could have got a job to go up there, but Katara wasn't offering enough. Let some other sucker trek all the way out to Nagastas.
Bell?
Gee, you are as dumb as you look. The bell, in the bell tower, right outside.
Of course, how stupid of me. Tell me about this Nagasta.
Didn't I tell you to buzz off? He's some sort of necromancer, lives outside of town, in a big tower.
The Keen tells me you have his wife's silver locket. Any chance I could get it back?
Stupid Lakeen. He's a loser at more than cards. Deserves what the missus will give him when she finds out. It's mine now, and I ain't giving it back.
I need that locket. Hand it over.
I got your silver locket right here, pal. Take a hike, I'm busy.
Bell?
I'm tired of listening to you. Beat it.
The Keen tells me you have his wife's silver locket. Any chance I could get it back?
I don't know anything about that.
It's always a pleasure, Rolo.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Get off of there. What are you, some kind of clown? Hey, get down. Get off of there. Get off of there. What are you, some kind of clown? Get off of there. What are you, some kind of clown? Yeah? Get off of there. What are you, some kind of clown? What you want? What?
I need to ask you a few questions.
What makes you think I want to answer them?
It's always a pleasure, Rolo.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Yeah, you got a sword. Big deal.
No, he's unarmed. No, he's unarmed.
Yeah, you got a sword. Big deal. Yeah?
I need to ask you a few questions.
What makes you think I want to answer them?
It's always a pleasure, Rolo.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
I need something to put it in. Name's Cyrus. You okay?
No, I'm Crandall.
You seen a woman named Azara around?
Sure I have. Not that I remember names, though. Oh, but they remember mine. Them broads love Crandall. Have my way with them all, you know.
What do you know about the group called the Restless League?
Them punks. Killed them all once I did. Bunch of Redguard pansies. They want me to join them, but I got too much thinking to do. Heavy load. I say, Richton's got it out for him. You watch out.
So Stros M'kai's one big party for you, eh?
You gotta drink to keep sane in this place. Them sissies around here think they can make the best of it. They make nothing. Nothing. Richton's got them all scared.
You've certainly spent a lot of time at the local tavern.
Richton's got that damn lizard Dreekius charging 3 gold pieces for lousy Valenwood wine. He freaks me out. Picking flies off the bar with his tongue. I can't relax with that going on.
Rickton doesn't have you scared?
No, sirree. I kicked his fat butt. Not throwing me in his catacombs.
You're scared of the catacombs, eh?
Didn't say that. Did not say that. Rickton throws the crowns in jail and pirates into the catacombs. I ain't neither. Doubt his cronies could take me anyway.
Just like a drunk to blame the bartender for his troubles.
Ha! Who the heck do you blame for yours, anyway, tough guy? I know Drekius' story. Just no one else does. Damned Argonians. Them dark elves got it right. Cage 'em up and let 'em haul ash.
Don't like Argonians either. Who do you like, Crendel?
Fine then, fine. Hang around that scaly bastard and catch the flu.
There hasn't been a case of that in 200 years.
All I'm saying, those of us who play our cards right could open a right good belt shop. Yeah.
Liquor tax?
That's right. It's a real shock that sailors don't hang around anymore. Who's in charge of that one?
Ever heard of the Flask of Lilandril? You look like a treasure hunter.
Ah, the Flask of Lilandril. Everything good in life comes in a decanter.
I've had enough.
Good.
It's locked.
She floats through my dreams with the greatest of ease, the fat one-eyed lady with sweet-smelling knees.
Hold up a second.
Look, go past to someone else.
It's locked.
Hey, Redguard. What about a drink?
It's locked.
A is for the apes that date their mothers. Come down from there.
Hold up a second.
No, no, and no again. Not with the likes of you. No, no, no.
Hold up a second.
Push off, red face.
Hold up a second.
Why do they always bother me? Go on, will ya?
What will it be, traveler?
Barkeep, well met. I'm Cyrus.
I know. I had Tobias made out a fool to believe you'd come.
Why?
I'm the one that smuggled his letter out for him. The Empire's been watching all shipments from this port. I figured our chances were slim.
Many thanks, then.
Welcome to the Dragon Tail, by the way, thesis-bound subsistence submine, where there is good ear and ale co-equal.
What can I do for you?
A drink might be nice. I'll use your ears later, maybe.
Ever ready to listen, soft skin? Let adventure thine be mine. I'll share what thoughts I can.
What can you tell me about Azara?
She frequented this establishment much before the battle in Hunting Bay. Less after, of course.
Of course.
She was a fervent one, your nestling, who hated the Empire not in hushed tones. After the occupation, she disappeared for a while.
She disappeared 3 months ago.
No, I'm talking about before that, right after the battle. Many crowns made themselves scarce then. Isara was one of them. I didn't see her for several weeks following. Later she showed up, needing a drink and rambling, intent on some decision.
What then?
The Imperials came, and I let her out through the window. I haven't seen her since.
The occupation, it seems, is taking long to consolidate, with the League about and the Imperial still hunting for wayward crowns.
Hammerfell's the defiant line of the human race still. They say some still fight the Empire on the mainland.
Is thus the Empire delayed in further expansion?
The whole wild world, the elf kingdoms and the beastlands, waits to see what finally happens here in the last land of men. A word of advice: beware the dragon tribe of the Emperor. The warrior king Tiber Septim does not tolerate rebellion. And Governor Rickton has promised summary execution to any who take arms to oppose his rule.
Wouldn't dream of it, unless he's responsible for my sister's disappearance.
Even if he were responsible, perhaps it would be wise to proceed cautiously.
Cautiously, eh? If only I knew how to do that. You said the Imperials came here looking for Azara the last night you saw her.
Not specifically for Isara. The Imperials had a list of dissidents they sought. Her name was there, with names of many other crowns. Since that time, I see only forebears here.
The forebears seem to enjoy your place.
The Imperial liquor tax has forced me to serve everyone, even the city's ancestral villains.
Tell me about the crowns.
Their fire is gone since the prince was lost. Few show their faces in Stros M'kai. Some have passed to the mainland. Some few plot and scheme still, nursing fading dreams.
What do you think of the Restless League?
A human tribe of ill account, but whose single-mindedness is something I can fathom. Their raids upset my smuggling operations, and off thus my fair nature. Valenwood wine's hard to come by, you see, but over that, I have nothing worse to say.
You sympathize with the League, then?
Oh no, I merely noted their clannish drives, which any Argonian might admire. Being used, as we are, to honor the clan's interests about our own private affairs.
How then does an Argonian manage to leave his tribe to wander Tamriel?
You refer to me? I do not wander, Redguard. This is a settled study for me, from which I'll add to the wealth of wisdoms when I return to my clan.
I myself was a victim of these raids.
More obstacle, I'd suspect, than victim. The raids had ended, it seemed, but your mischance may be token of renewed troubles the sailors speak of. The League is marshalling anew its forces, or so the rumor goes.
Some second battle of Stros M'kai?
True, it sounds unlikely, but they are dagger lads, the Restless League, and they vow to make war again.
How have the denizens of Black Marsh resisted the Empire so long?
1,000 miles of swamp, bog, and stink aren't attractive to most humans. And terror of the Kanathan flu still holds most at bay, but our days of testing will come.
What's your subject of study?
The other, of course. Those ones not skinned in scale. We see that Septim's tribes will not be long satisfied with the thrones of men and the elder race. One day they will come to Black Marsh. Argonians have lost land once before, when we did not know our enemy.
I see, and what better place to learn the wants of men than at the bar?
There are other places. Universities, the military, the magical guild, but I aim to chart man's geography of desire, which is most readily charted when he is drunk and blathering. Is this your first visit to Stros M'kai, Cyrus?
Aye, but the occupation makes it seem less so. With the Imperial standards aloft at port, it seems like any other vassal town of Cyrodiil.
But for the unrest of like blood?
The only blood I care about is my sister's. As far as I'm concerned, new kingless Hammerfell has gone its way.
Your apathy is decidedly reptilian.
I don't know how to take that coming from you. What are you talking about?
This tavern, of course, both site and subsidy of my studies, as well as a fine storehouse of spirits.
Hey, Drakius, I got this delivery job that'll get me into the palace for sure.
What are you going to deliver?
Some amulet meant for the governor.
Do you have it yet?
Not yet, I've got to get it at the Necromancer's Isle.
Don't forget to bring some gold to pay the boatman, Cyrus. And be careful.
Thanks, Drakius, I will. Drakius, you mentioned taking part in some smuggling operations.
Minor stuff is all, and mostly nil, now that the governor's men are keeping such tabs on me.
What can you tell me about the smuggler's den?
It's run by some upright from the north, a quick-to-anger sort, and he only talks to members of the den.
What's the smuggler's den password?
They've changed it ever since the Empire's been keeping such an eye on the Dragon Tail. But I'm sure some people about town could be persuaded to give it up.
I've come across the legend of the Flask of the Landrel.
That bug's got you too. A lot of people on this island are looking for it. Even the Empire, I hear.
What would they want with it?
The scuttlebutts, they want it for an invasion of Somerset Isle, to help them dispel its magical defenses. Leastways, be advised that the flask's burial ground is well sought by more dubious parties than you.
A lot of people are looking for the flask. Anybody in particular?
There's a Breton about town, loud and lit to hear, by the name of Crendel. He was in a few weeks back, bragging about having a piece of a map.
A map showing where the flask is buried.
Yeah, but Crendel's a drunk, so make of it what you like.
I'd better keep moving. Can we talk later?
Anytime, anytime.
Cyrus! You made it! Come here, lad. How you look good. It's been too long.
If you hadn't retired,
Mercenary life's younger men's work.
bah, he said.
I prayed that you would get my letter.
It is lucky you were here, Tobias, or I wouldn't have known Azara was in trouble. I have not been in Hammerfell since the,
I know, lad, what you mean.
Anyway, Stros M'kai has no one who could have reached me. Thank you.
I sent the letter some weeks ago, Cyrus. I fear things have gotten worse for your sister since.
How did you know where to reach me, Tobias? Our paths parted so long ago.
I didn't send it to you directly. I knew that damn cat was probably still getting you into trouble, even to this day. Thrathra seemed the likely solution, and through the channels I'd heard he'd made Wayrest his port of late.
Now, he's moved from the throne seekers of the old empire to the lesser lords of High Rock, still playing them to his benefit, raking in the gold on all fronts.
I thought that Septim had solidified the Britons.
As much as the witchmen will, but there is still a lot of money to be made in the drawing of borders before the provincial laws dry completely. Mercenaries are in great demand right now, as are fixers like our cat friend.
Does he still stink so?
To hear.
I think I will go see him when I leave. It's been too long.
How do you mean worse? What more do you know about Azara?
Nothing more than my letter has described, that she is gone and no one knows where. Just a bad feeling that's grown worse with the wait. The governor has not been merciful with the crowns that survived the battle. I hear his dragon's belly is full of the overloud, and that many died later in the burning of the old quarter.
What happened to the old quarter?
The crowns fled ashore there after the battle. It was their last stand. The governor sent his dragon, and it was done.
Was Azara there?
That section of town is closed off. No one I've talked to knows if she was there or not.
Where's the dragon now?
It's disappeared too. Some say it has returned to the Imperial province. Others say the governor keeps it well paid and fed in the catacombs below the palace.
Is there another way into the catacombs?
There is the traditional way.
Imagine that I laughed. Secret entrance, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know.
Who in this town knew of Azara?
I did not question many for fear of ill allegiance. So I went to the temple to ask of her. For the brothers of RK are neutral in mortal affairs. There, Brother Niddle told me that Azara had vanished, and set me on the road of writing you. Also, Dreekius here knew that she was missing too.
So the priests are still safe from being conquered.
Be that as it may, the temple is quite empty of priests, save for Brother Niddle. It seems some of their ranks have disappeared also.
I'm noticing a theme. Where did you hear that?
Niddle told me Brother Cathral vanished around the same time as your sister, and that they knew each other.
So I can count Brother Niddle as an ally then?
On my word, he was most helpful, but he seemed to be holding something back.
I wouldn't consider paranoia a bad character trait in Stros M'kai these days. Besides, you're so ugly.
That was it. He may open up to you more, being Azara's brother and half as hard to look at.
Tell me about the temple.
The head priest, a Brother Niddle, was very helpful in regards to Azara. He seemed to know her well, and shared my concern over her disappearance. He is worth an interview.
I think I saw it across the plaza. What is the Restless League, Captain?
Where did you hear that name?
They attacked the ship that gave me passage.
Speak of it but in a whisper, and not too often. The governor is searching the surrounding waters for them, and will see them broken and piked if he has his way. The League has survived the death of the Crown Prince and resists his enemies still. But they are few and going fewer from what I hear, and have been reduced to brigandry these days. Not far from the lives we led not too long ago, eh?
Bold are these brigands, the Restless League, to attack a ship in the very harbor.
They must be running low on provisions to act so desperately. They have been ghosts of late, and this appearance is their first since I've been here.
How do you know about them, then?
They ran the Iliac before the war. Our lanes have crossed.
But after the occupation, they've stayed relatively scarce?
Yes, which is why their attack on you is so troubling. No one knew of your impending arrival?
Nobody but Seraphra. Would it matter?
I'm not sure.
We were never brigands when I served under you, Captain. Only mercenaries.
Tell that to those on the other end of the sword, lad. You see more of yourself in the men of the Restless League than you'd care to admit, I'd wager.
They're knaves with their eyes on Providence, nothing more. My sword's never been dressed for diplomacy. Give me gold for a throat, the throat for a slight, and I'm well. Give me a well-paying war.
War is the continuation of politics. That's it, right?
You quote Hunding like a Redguard, Tobias.
Political power grows along the blade of a sword.
Okay.
A drink to the Redguards. I see you still remember your childhood heroes, even if you've dismissed the homeland.
Hunding is a universal wellspring.
Be resolute, fear no sacrifice, and surmount every difficulty to win victory.
See? Anyone could admire that.
Tell me that your Redguard heart didn't buckle when you saw his statue at port.
Frandar Hunding is a great hero to Hammerfell, I'll admit, and even a little to myself. Hail the great founder and all that nonsense. But it's an ill plan to try and trigger the homeland tug through the invocation of Hunding, Tobias.
Really?
Don't forget, he left his homeland too, and never looked back.
That's because it fell into the sea, you dolt.
What brought you to Stros M'kai?
War and the rumors of war. Every merchant that's near and seaworthy has come to Stros M'kai in the wake of recent events, either in the service of the provisional governor or to fill the sea lines that Septim has shattered, and that the crowns can run no more. I thought I might profit from a visit, but it has brought naught but sorrow and the sign of darker days. I fear I shall be leaving none too soon.
You are leaving, Captain? When? And wherefore?
At sunset, if all goes well, and as for where, whither I will. Stros M'kai is not for me.
But I thought you might help me.
The Imperials have been asking about yours truly around the docks lately. I fear my inquiries into Izara's disappearance have interested them in all the wrong ways. I will help you as I can through the course of this day, but after that I must be done with it. I'm too old for an Imperial prison.
It won't come to that.
You haven't been here long enough. My ship is ready to leave at sundown, but don't worry. I'll be here until then to help you along if you need it. A lot can transpire in a day. We will see each other again.
Since when were you a merchant, Tobias?
The fight left me after our little foray into Morrowind. It's been sweet commerce ever since.
I've not returned to Morrowind since then.
Who'd want to? All that ash and fire. Those dark elves can keep their curse.
Don't forget the bugs.
Which reminds me, Governor Richten has a little sting of his own from those parts. His lieutenant is a dark elf. Watch out for that one. Always close by the governor, hiding in his shadow.
Which means he's got plenty of room to maneuver.
I'd welcome another chance at the Dark Elves. I've still got scars.
Watch yourself.
Is it safe to talk here?
As safe as any, and the ale is good. Drekius can be trusted as much as any walking lizard can be. It might get a little rough with all the forebears around, but I'll be here until I leave Stros M'kai.
The barkeep is a long way from Black Marsh, isn't he?
That's right, and it's kept me good company in my wait for you. Trust it well after I leave, for it knows this island and all who live here. But don't bother asking about the eye, because I already have.
Treekius knows of the Eye of Argonia?
It's got the skin for it, wouldn't you say? I'll find the thing yet, and before you, if I get my way.
Another soft skin with dreams of the priceless king's jewel of ancient Black Marsh. You look this sort too, all sword and swagger. Tobias, he describes you well.
Aye, but Cyrus here must save that adventure for another day. He's got a sister to find. I've told him that you will help him after I depart, Lizard. So mark me well.
Whatever you say.
Do you think Azara chose sides in the Civil War, and that is why she has disappeared?
Your family's always been partisan, lad, since your early days in Sentinel. I ventured she still held her old allegiances, even if you haven't. Few crowns in Stros M'kai survived the battle with the Imperials, but I know Azara was one of them.
How?
Hearing of the defeat of the crowns caused me much concern. When I arrived, a search for word of Azara's safety. The only ones here who knew of her said that she had disappeared shortly after the Imperials landed.
I see the harbor is already arrayed in the flags of the Emperor, and that his men walk the streets as if born to them.
Stros M'kai's a dangerous port these days. There's an empire to be built, you know, and Tiber Septim shows no sign of slowing its increase from here to the edge of the world map. Hierarch's border kings bent knee to the Cyrodiil long ago. Even my father's fair Skyrim is adorned with flags of red dragons and foreign men. We are entering a new era, I fear, with Septim's name written long and wide upon it.
Any kind words for our new emperor?
He is good at what he does, and sees the holes lesser men leave wide. No offense to your Prince Ator, of course.
Hammerfell's problems are her own. I was only asking if Septim was the tyrant they say.
Of course he is. Tyranny means never having to say you're sorry. But Azara's fate has nothing to do with the Emperor, I'm sure. Look to the Provisional Governor if you suspect Imperial entanglements. He's the real tyrant around here. How long were you in Wayrest, Cyrus?
Long enough to piss off the locals.
A bay ride from Sentinel. Close enough for you to hear about Prince Ator, then.
Yes, of late the criers are tripping over each other. There's so much to report of the blistery south.
And you've listened to it all, I'm sure.
Fine, recount all word of Prince Ator that I have shamefully ignored.
When his father died and the capital of Sentinel was taken over by the forebears, the prince fled back here to his ancestral home of Stros M'kai. After rallying the crowns to his stead, he made for the throne again and had it near. That's when the Empire came, through a forebear truce which no one expected. Again the prince was forced back to Stros M'kai, which he died defending. He will not long be forgotten. Lizard, another drink?
What were the terms of the forebear truce?
Originally, the Empire was to lend its armies to the forebear cause in return for a swath of holding titles along the southeast border. But when Baron Volag disappeared during the arse end of the war, all bets were off. A new treaty was formed, which garrisoned those Imperial armies in the cities.
Until such a time as the native rulership can see fit to reinstate itself safely on its rightful throne.
Something like that, yes, sir. Septim's no Cyrodiil from what I've heard, though he ruled their remnants and rebuilds their empire. He's something worse, or greater.
Depended on your disposition to the center, son.
If he has no blood tie to the Cyrodiil throne, then how did he make it his?
Come on! For the last 400 years, the petty kings of Cyrodiil have been squabbling over the title of Emperor, all claiming forebearance. Imperial throne's blood's thinner than a sea dream and half as wet. Tiber Septim took the throne as he took your people's.
Hail the new conqueror.
There's a good little subject.
You used to hire out to those petty kings, did you not?
20 years ago, maybe, when the whole heart of Tamriel was in chaos. I could admire Tiber Septim insofar that he has managed to consolidate the rags and tatters that bickered there then.
No empire is a good thing, Captain.
There's a Redguard for you.
So the Nord kings have submitted to Tiber Septim too.
They do not worry over much. They have outlasted empires before, and this conquest will be no different. Hammerfell has been the bloodiest invasion of current record, and by comparison, Skyrim's occupation seemed like a ballet.
Do you know if Azara fought in the Battle of Stros M'kai?
My investigations were limited, I'll admit. If she fought, I can't say. But I would guess that she did. The battle was the penultra of the crowns, and all who subscribed to the name no doubt took up arms. While most of them were slain at sea, others have been taken prisoner by the governor.
Tell me about the provisional governor, Captain.
When I arrived, his soldiers showed me the finer points of Richten's new docking tax, and scoured my ship for leaguesmen. I must say he's a bit of an asshole. You'd better watch yourself around him.
So why aren't you in jail?
Meaning why aren't said soldiers in little boxes at the foot of the palace gate? Because I didn't come to port to get myself in trouble, but to get your sister out.
Should I look into seeing this governor then?
That's where I'd look, laddie.
Could she be in jail?
I haven't exactly knocked on the door to find out. That's your job now. But I know the jail's off limits to non-Imperials. Now, read no visitors whatsoever.
We'll see about that. Imperial expansion has been feared for years. Why wasn't Hammerfell better prepared?
Factional squabbles, divided councils, miscalculations. Crowns lost heart when they lost the capital. Forebears lost their heads completely when they welcomed the Empire's friendship and aid.
So the Empire played the forebears pretty well, eh?
What else is a visionary with an open invitation to do? The forebears are having futile second thoughts now, no doubt. Probably why they're so bitter and driven to bar brawls.
What of the crowns?
Not too many left around here. The few that are don't admit it to just anyone.
How have the forebears fared under Septim's rule?
The throne of Sentinel is kept warm by another Imperial governor. That should be indication enough.
How is the city of Sentinel? I never returned.
For long my men plied the Iliac, and Sentinel was along the run. That's how I came to know that Azara moved from there to here. I kept up with her for your sake. If even it were a dream to think anything would come of it. When Volag's purge ignited through the north, I went there seeking to help her. But she was already gone. Later, I learned she'd come to Stros M'kai.
What was Volag's purge?
When Thasad died, Baron Volag led the forebears into an uprising for control of the capital. All crowns were forced to leave Sentinel after that first massacre. Your sister was among those that followed the prince here to Stros M'kai to plan the counterattack. I swear, Cyrus, are you always such a lame brain when it comes to word of recent Hammerfell?
I've come to cultivate a certain indifference about the homeland.
And this is a good thing?
So his character is in question. Again.
She was your sister, Cyrus.
I was probably miles away.
A proximity often and on purpose, I'd suspect. Yeah, well, you're here now.
I have dreaded a meeting with Azara again. I still do. I wish I might find her safe or save her from afar.
Anonymous rescue?
Something like.
Wake up, Cyrus. It's been, what, 10 years since you hung Hakan on your sword. She has moved on. This is obvious. She may have even forgiven you.
I can't even remember what Hakan looks like. Just some face behind a sword guard. He hit her, I drew, he drew, we dueled. It was over in a few seconds. Now it seems a thin excuse for murder.
It wasn't murder. He had a sword too.
Oh, for half a second maybe. But that's not what really bothers me. He deserved to die, if there is such a thing. It was leaving Azara there to sew it all back up. And then, the war. Where was I then? Facade II, so storied in song. It was unwise to invest the Republic on one man.
The forebears are over there, Cyrus, if you want the company to match the sentiment.
No, it's just... I mean, he was dying when I was still a young kid. We Redguards were only waiting for it to happen. My father kept his profession in one hand and a whetstone in the other. We knew that civil war would come. If Facade was so great, why didn't he do more in his life to protect the kingdom after his death?
Some things have to be left for the son.
The head of the forebears is the subject of the Empire now.
Or subject to the Empire's execution, from spake of it. He disappeared the day Stros M'kai was taken, and Sentinel lay in a similar state. Provisional governors rule both cities now.
Captain, what do you know about the smuggler's den?
Knaves that aren't worth my cargo. You should forget about them.
I see. I'll be back. If you're not here, thanks for everything. Good luck.
Just find your sister and get out of here. And send word through Stratra. Go on, you'll do fine.
Cyrus, can I help you?
Yes?
Probably need to find something to use it with. Good day. I'm Cyrus.
Aren't too many youngsters around these days, especially not as well-spoken as you. I'm Maiko, the local cartographer. Can I help you?
What are people talking about around town these days?
Damning the governor's eyes, mainly. I try not to get involved in all those troubles. I've seen more than enough suffering in my life. I just want to spend my last days working with my maps.
I wonder if you've heard of this Restless League.
The alliance between Daggerfall, Wayrest, and Balfiera against the Cyrodiils during the First Era? No, that was the League of Unrest. No, sorry, I'm just not familiar with it.
Do you know a young woman named Izara?
I'm afraid not. I don't know too many of the youngsters around town these days. You see, I prefer to spend my time with my maps.
What do your maps tell you?
Maps are like people. Did you know that, Cyrus? There are good maps, bad maps, indifferent maps. You shouldn't trust most maps. They'll lead you astray if you give them a chance. An honest map is rarer than a true friend. Remember that, young sir.
Is life under the Imperial governor so harsh?
I said I didn't want to speak of such things.
I've heard tell that your basement is used as a smuggler's den.
Really? How about that? I rent the downstairs to some local lads. They're quiet, always pay up on time. I can't imagine they're up to anything illegal.
These local lads, do they have names?
They never said. Perhaps you should run downstairs and ask him yourself.
Have you ever heard of the Flask of Lilandrum?
Hunding's bones, of course I have. Treasure hunters come here from all over Tamriel, digging and poking around interminably. Well, they say there's a treasure map floating around here somewhere, but I don't believe it.
Why not?
If there were a real map, why hasn't someone found the flask by now? Such a waste of time and effort, lusting after a mythical elven flask, when the island is full of real mysteries.
What do you mean?
Well, the caverns, for instance. Haven't heard of them, have you? Or the dwarven ruins either. But they're real, young sir, and as full of mystery and adventure as you could ask.
Where can I find these caverns you speak of?
Now that's the question, isn't it? Won't find them on your cheap commercial map, will you? That's a real mystery for you to ponder.
Tell me more about these dwarven ruins.
A bit more famous than the caverns, but if it's not about elves, no one cares. One of the great mysteries of the ages, the disappearance of the dwarves. But instead it's Flask of Lilandrel this, Flask of Lilandrel that.
I don't know much about dwarves. I always thought they were mythical creatures.
See what I mean? Not myths. Real. As real as stone and metal. Who do you think built those ruins? All gone, thousands of years ago. No one knows why, but that's a whole nother story. What were we talking about again?
Do you have any maps for sale?
Sorry, I don't sell retail. Contract work only. But perhaps I can make a map for you?
I could use a map of the island.
I used to make those, but I can't compete with the big Hammerfell cartography houses. Hire beggars and street urchins to copy off a master map. You've probably seen their cheap city maps around. Nothing like a good hand-drawn map. But people don't seem to care about craftsmanship anymore.
Do you have any maps for sale?
Sorry, I don't sell retail. Contract work only. But perhaps I can make a map for you?
I could use a map of the island.
I used to make those, but I can't compete with the big Hammerfell cartography houses. Hire beggars and street urchins to copy off a master map. You've probably seen their cheap city maps around. Nothing like a good hand-drawn map. But people don't seem to care about craftsmanship anymore.
Do you have any maps for sale?
Sorry, I don't sell retail. Contract work only. But perhaps I can make a map for you?
I wonder if you can make anything of this. These look like map notations to me.
Let me see. Oh, bloody hell. This again. Jafar must have sold this annotated copy of Elven artifacts 10 times. And they always end up here. Can you make me a map, they say? Why is everyone so mad over lost elven treasure? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm too busy today.
Very well.
Thank Great RK. Sometimes I think if I hear one more word about elves, I'll go crazy. Not like there aren't plenty of other interesting mysteries around Stros M'kai.
I wonder if you can make a map with this book. I'm willing to pay for the map, handsomely. Just name your price.
Persistent, eh? Listen, if you'll give me the book, I'll make it for you. One last time, free of charge. At least then I won't ever have to see it again.
Sounds good. When will the map be ready?
Come back in a little while. I'll see what I can make of it. Well,
It doesn't do anything by itself. Maiko, is my map ready yet?
go away! Go away, I'm trying to work. You want me to finish this or not? Speak up, I've got work to do.